Okay, we just got done seeing No Escape in an empty theater. We were the only ones there.
Fantastic.
It was great. It made the movie so much better to watch. This movie is a rentable movie. It was fine. It's not great, but I would say it's worth a Redbox rental.
It was entertaining.
For the most part.
I wouldn't watch it for the, character development, but I watch it for the action.
I think the most appealing thing about this movie is it's Owen Wilson doing something more dramatic. So I think that's kind of what the big question is. Well, does he do a good job? Owen Wilson did a perfectly acceptable job in the movie.
Yeah.
He did a good job. It's a hard art. I think he delivered stuff well. I think, setting up him and his family in the first act before stuff really starts happening, they did a really good job making them likable. And so, as far as everything else goes, it's a very simple-minded thriller. It's got problems. I have to say, it's not particularly well shot. The action scenes are kind of sloppy.
Yeah.
And even just the action scenes aside, there are some parts that are nicely shot, but there are other parts that are a little sloppy and not the best edited. So, from filming-wise, it's not the best. And writing-wise, this was very simple-minded. They don't even tell you what country they're in.
Yeah.
It just borders Vietnam.
Yeah. Like, they go to a third-world, country in Asia, and it's about this American family getting caught in the middle of a riot, this really intense riot, and they're in danger.
More like
a revolution.
Revolution. I'm sorry, yeah. Revolution.
It was bigger than that.
Yeah. But they don't even tell you what country it's in.
Yeah.
And they briefly explain why Owen Wilson and his family are there, but I don't think they did the best job explaining that. You can tell this was just a very high concept thriller. They're like, well, when they're writing this story out, they were like, well, why are they there? Well, we'll figure that out later. They didn't really spend much time on a lot of details like that, or even Pierce Brosnan's character. I mean, they kind of explain it towards the end, but still, and we'll get to Pierce Brosnan in a moment. But so I mean, with that said, it's not the best written, it's not the best shot, but it was very well acted, and despite not being very well shot, the action scenes are pretty intense, and it's it's just a kind of a fun turn off your brain thriller.
Yeah,
I can't say it's worth movie ticket price, but it's worth a Redbox rental.
Yeah.
So it was okay. Do you guys have anything you want to say?
The score was good.
Yeah, the music was really good, very intense. The director that did this also did Quarantine and this, what was it called? It was this horror film that came out last year that got really bad reviews, like So Far Below, So Far Below.
The one about the people underground.
Yeah. I can say this is probably his best film yet. So props to the director. This is definitely an I didn't really like Quarantine much. I liked Wreck a lot more.
Yeah.
So this was a step up from that, I can say. But again, just not the best well shot, but
I mean, I liked it. It did the job for me.
Yeah.
I wanted to watch people get their butts kicked and die.
Well,
it delivered.
You got plenty of that.
I mean, and it was a different setting. It was nice to have a setting that you don't see in movies. Well, here's a country in revolution, and this family trying to escape it. They don't do that.
Or showing the rebels as the bad guys.
Yeah.
They are very ruthless in this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so the best part of the film, the guy who steals the show, is Pierce Brosnan.
And Kenny Rogers.
And a guy whose name is Kenny Rogers because he is obsessed with Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan, when we first saw this trailer, he is what attracted us to it, because in the trailer we see him kicking butt, and we're like, sweet.
Oops.
And as I feared, he's not in the movie that much, but he is...
I couldn't afford it.
But he is just stealing the film.
Oh, yeah.
The action scenes with him are awesome. His line delivery is great. He's charming. He's fun. He is everything that he should have been. And to get... Oh, sorry.
And then they even tried to make him the bad guy. And
Kind
it didn't
of.
even work.
It didn't even work. He explains to Owen Wilson how the revolution is partially his fault, but we're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't want him to die.
He does have a great death.
Yeah, to get into spoilers, Pierce Brosnan does die, which you can tell. Like, by the trailer, you can tell he's probably going to die.
Yeah.
But his death scene, he goes out so amazingly. Anybody that plays Bond should go out in an amazing way when he's in another film, and he does in this film. So, I would say compared to The November Man, which is a completely different film, but last year I went to go see A November Man just because Pierce Brosnan was the lead, and he was great in that too. I would say this is a better film,
Okay.
but Pierce Brosnan is the lead in November Man, so you get a lot more of him. So
Yeah.
there's that. But yeah, I would say this is a better film. But
I was actually kind of happy to see Owen Wilson in this. I liked Behind Enemy Lines. I know a lot of people didn't, but I actually liked it. I think he did fine in that. And it was nice to see him do something very similar again.
He can hold up. He's not.
It's just hard to take him seriously. But
I think he can hold his own in a drama film. I'm not the biggest fan of most of his comedies, but I think he did a fine job in this film, as did, and also the girls, the girls that played the daughters, they did a good job acting. Their characters were a little obnoxious,
I
but
think everybody did a good
yeah,
job.
the
with it.
acting,
Yeah.
the acting, the music, and just the overall intensity, I think, really drives this film much more than the writing. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, anything else you guys want to add?
I guess one thing with the writing, maybe a reason they didn't include a country is so that you can imagine it sort of happening anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it's very Asian specific because there's clearly Asians running around in the Asian language.
And
but-
Vietnam.
Yeah, Vietnam right next to it.
So, but for most of the movie, you could sort of imagine this kind of thing happening anywhere in the world, except for
Yeah, I thought about that too. Like, I think maybe the idea is that they didn't want to be specific because it's like, well, like we said earlier, it's not about being specific. It's just about what if you and your family were put in this situation, and that's fine. Again, I think it just kind of comes off still as a little bit of lazy writing because it's I don't know but I mean, it didn't ruin the film. It's just important to point out that this was not the best written. But, I mean, I'd give it a C. It was average.
C plus.
yeah.
For me, at least C plus.
I don't think I would have any desire to see it again, but it would be worth a one-time rental. So, anything else?
These guys are kissing and they're not even parked.
We got another trailer too, but I can't remember what it was. You having fun there, Jason?
What is going on?
He looked like he was gonna blow you.
Wait, what?
You didn't see that?
The car over there is fucking around.
Okay, Jason, I want you to look in the camera and explain to the audience
Okay.
what is going on.
There's a car over there.
We're in the theater parking lot.
They were over there, stopped in an awkward position, and it made it look like they were kissing and everything. Hey, see you guys later. Have fun tonight.
Hey, turn your lights on. It's nighttime.
That's
Not
actually
you.
caught my
Damn.
attention. Yeah, their lights are off, but. So they were stopped there, and they made it look like they were kissing. And then all of a sudden, I see him reach over and bring her head down. That's a very obvious movement. I know nothing was actually happening because he didn't get his pants on. Like
They were just messing with us.
it was. I
and they caught at least one of us.
mean, yeah. Night maid.
This was by far my favorite movie going experience.
This is, yeah.
We had the theater all to ourselves, so we were allowed
And
to
then
be
this
loud
happened.
and obnoxious. Oh my god, this couldn't have gotten any better, and then it did.
It's not even the fact that happened. It's the fact that we're talking about the movie, and in the background, Jason is losing it.